How are you? You guys good? You look good. What did you guys think of the birds? Pretty cool, huh? I did too. I am so glad that bird didn't take off anybody's head. Although I do have that teacher's bottle, so. You know I love a good squirt bottle. I was very disappointed that I didn't get to spray you guys with a squirt bottle this year, like I usually do. I was very disappointed. Pile them in. Come on, friends. You guys can squeeze in. I only bit that one time. I said I was sorry. I had the shot. It's fine. I won't bite again, I promise. I learned my lesson, all right? Listen. I said I was sorry, Kenny, all right? You don't have to quit bringing it up, okay? I said I was sorry. I bit you, all right? Sorry, Kenny. Yes, Gracie. The what? The joke? Oh, I got a joke? Yeah. What? You gonna spend the night? Woo, lots of people. All right, do I have crew 1? Say woot woot if you're crew 1. Crew 2, woot woot. Crew 3, crew 4, crew 5, crew 6, crew 7. Maybe you're not supposed to be in here. If you're not, maybe not. Maybe next time. All right. How are you guys? Good? Fantastic. Well, welcome back to the Amazon. How are you guys been? Good? All right. So this week we've been talking about how God is our creator, right? Okay. Can you hear me? Okay, this time try to say it the exact same way I do, okay? Can you hear me? That's really close, but you got to say it low and slow. Ready? Can you hear me? Oh, that was good. You guys are getting good at this. Fantastic. All right, so we're here back in the Amazon. And we're talking about how God is our creator, right? Maybe. I know. Technology. There we go. God is our creator, right? So last night, who did we talk to? Shout it out if you remember who came and talked to us last night. Well, God does talk to us, but Matthew came and talked to us, right? And we learned about how Jesus chose him to be a disciple, even though he wasn't very liked. Remember, he was a tax collector, and sometimes people didn't like the tax collector because they took their money. But Jesus saw past the sin that Matthew had done because he knew what Matthew's heart looked like. And that reminds us of our Bible points, right? Remember our Bible points that we've been doing? I'm sure you do, okay? Are you ready? Get ready, because we're going to do them. Ready? God knows you. Drake, I saw that. It's not this nose, it's this nose. Goodness. Let's try that again. Ready? God knows you. You're a goof. All right. And then our next one is God chooses you. Like you're picking a piece of candy out of grandma's dish. You're like, this one. So try it again. Ready? God chooses you. Good job. Have you guys ever been scared? Raise your hand if you've been scared before. Yeah? I get scared too sometimes. Sometimes I get scared of spiders. Do you get scared of spiders? I mean, I'm not a super fan. Like, I won't run for the woods, but I'm not a super fan. What about snakes? No, I will run for the hills if I see one of these. That is not for me, all right? Snakes are not for me. What about mice? Well, Maybe not these kind of mice. Not like the Disney mice. Disney mice aren't that scary. I mean, unless they make you an ugly dress or something. But these kind of mice aren't bad. But like those kind of mice. I mean, they're not super scary, but I don't necessarily want them running through my kitchen. You know what I mean? What about heights? Is anybody scared of heights? Yeah? Yeah? Listen, I'm from St. Louis, and it took me 30 years to go up in the arch because I'm not a big fan of heights. Yeah, not a big fan. I will talk to you afterwards, okay? I will hear all of your things, okay? What about the dark? Is anybody scared of the dark? Listen, there is no shame in being scared of the dark. I have a little nightlight on in my room. It's fine. We all have a nightlight sometimes. It's okay. It's fine. So some people are afraid of being alone. Is anybody afraid of being alone? Yeah. Sometimes it's scary. Maybe you feel like maybe you don't have any friends, you know, and it kind of feels scary because you don't have people. You feel like you don't have people who love you for who you are, and that can be concerning. Kind of like Matthew. Like Matthew kind of felt like he didn't have friends because the friends that he did have, they only liked him because of the money he could get them and stuff like that. But Jesus knew what it was like to be us. He and his disciples visited lots of different people who had all kinds of different hurts. And he visited the people, and Jesus knew so much about them because Jesus knows us, right? So Jesus could see the hurts, not just the hurts that you see on the outside. You know, sometimes you can see like a boo-boo or an ouchie on the outside. He could see the hurts that they had on the inside too. So Jesus would walk and talk with the people that he saw. He would listen to their stories. And Jesus was the Son of God, and he had the power to heal people. And he healed people's hearts through forgiveness. And Jesus healed people's hurts through miracles. Some people that came to Jesus, they couldn't see, but they would hear the words that he would say, and they believed in their heart that he was the Son of God and had the power to heal them, and then they would be healed. They would be able to see again. And this woman in the picture, she had been sick for 12 years. Can you imagine being sick for 12 years? I've been sick for 3 days, and I'm already over it. I'm already sick of it. I'm sick of being sick. It's a bad time, girl. 12 years she was sick, and the doctors tried so hard for so long to help her, and there was nothing they could do for her. But she believed that Jesus was the Son of God, and she really believed in her heart that Jesus could heal her. So she went to go see him, but the streets were super crowded. There was people everywhere, and she thought, you know what, if I could just get close enough to touch his clothes, if I could just touch his clothes, I know that would be enough to heal me. So she tried as hard as she could to get as close as she could, and she just touched his clothes, and she was healed. The sickness that she had had for 12 whole years was gone. Can you believe that? That's amazing. Just because it was Jesus, because Jesus is the Son of God, and he had the power to heal people. And another man, he couldn't use his legs. His legs didn't work. He was paralyzed. And he was really scared of missing the chance to see Jesus and to ask Jesus to help him. So his friends, you see his friends? It's kind of blurry, but those are his friends. And they really wanted him to be able to see Jesus too. So his friends, Jesus was teaching at a house, and the house was so crowded with people. It was crowded with people because everybody wanted to hear Jesus teach. So the house was crowded with people. So their friends drug him on a mat up to the roof. Could you imagine dragging someone on top of a roof? That would be so hard. But they cared about their friend a lot, and they wanted him to be healed. So they drug him on top of the roof, and they lowered him down through the roof to see Jesus. And Jesus was so impressed, and he loved that they had such faith in him that he healed the man. But he said, your sins are forgiven. He healed his heart, and then he healed his legs. And he got up. The man who hadn't walked in years and years, hadn't walked, he stood up and he walked out of the house glorifying God, saying Jesus is the man he says he is. He is the Son of God, Praise Jesus. He healed me. And some people, they couldn't come to Jesus because they had sicknesses that other people could get. So they couldn't be around other people who were not sick because they could give that sickness to other people. So they had to be separated from their family and their friends. And I bet you they were lonely. Do you think they were lonely? Would you be lonely if you were sick and you weren't able to be around your friends or your family? Or your mom or your dad or your grandma or grandpa couldn't help take care of you? That would be hard. It would be so hard to not be around people when you're sick. But they were separated, and they were really alone and afraid. So we're going to close our eyes again. Close your eyes. No peeking. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Ready? We're going to use our imaginations again, and we're going to hear what it may have been like to be rescued by Jesus from a disease that had no cure.
Hello. Hello, my friends. How are you? Today I want to tell you about Jesus and how he healed me. You guys want to hear that story? Yeah. I'm a boy. And so when I started, I loved to work. I worked in the fields. I was a farmer. I planted crops. Do you guys anybody have a garden? Do you like to plant crops? I love to plant the seed, and I love to water them, and I love to see them grow. And I had the love of my family. I had the love of my friends, and I was a hard worker. I was successful at work. But then something happened. Something changed. Life was so good, but something changed. Do you want to hear what happened? So something right here on my hand. I started to look at my thumb and my hand, and I saw a little mark. And this had happened before. I'd cut my hand on something at work, and then I would start to bleed, but then later it would heal. But this time it wasn't healing. It was starting to spread, and it was scary. Have you guys ever heard of something like this before? I think somebody might have known about it. And so there were other people that I'd heard that had this sickness, and that it couldn't be healed. And I was scared because it kept spreading. Does anyone know what it was called? Yes, it was called leprosy, and there was no way to heal it. Oh, I'm going to tell you about God. Oh, I'm going to tell you about that. And so I started having to wrap it. I was kind of in denial about it. I was scared to let other people see it. And then my friends and my neighbors, they started to see what was happening, and they would tell me, we don't want you around. You can't come near. When I would come in somewhere, I had to say, I have leprosy. If I walked into a town, I had to yell, I am unclean. That would be embarrassing, wouldn't it? To have to tell everyone you're sick and tell them to get away from you. Would you guys like to do that? No, I didn't want to do that. I was ashamed. I didn't want to be around people, but I didn't know what to do. But then one day, I knew about this Jesus, that he was the Son of God, and he was coming to my town. And I knew that he stood for things. I knew he stood for truth and hope. I knew that he spoke of heaven and of love and for sin and forgiveness. Have you heard of these things Jesus talks about? Yes, and he healed people. And so I went to him. So I went to Jesus. He was the only thing left that I had an opportunity to do, was to go see him. And when I went up to him, I wasn't sure if he was going to tell me to go away and say, "Go away, you leper," or if he was actually going to help me with my problem. Do you think he helped me, or do you think he turned me away?
He helped you.
He did. He turned towards me.
Because he knows that you are hurt.
I asked him, I said, "Jesus, will you heal me?" And he turned towards me, and he touched my hand, and nobody else would touch me. He touched my hand, and he smiled, and he said, I am willing. Be clean. And immediately, my hand was healed. There was no more soreness. I was no longer sick. You see that? It's clean. And I was so excited. It was like I had a new body. And so Jesus did everything that he promised. He stood for love, and he healed me, and he helped many other people. But it came at a great cost. But that's a story for another day. But I thank you guys for listening to my story. Yes? Your dad heals you? Well, back then your dad wasn't alive, so I had Jesus to help. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you so much for telling your story. So Jesus healed the leper from a disease that no one else could cure. Jesus was the only one that could help him. And leprosy had separated sick people from healthy people. It's just like sin separates us from God. And God sent Jesus to pay the price for our sin, to heal our heart, and to bring us back to him. Okay, it's time for our Bible point. Everyone stand up. It's time. It's time. Get the wiggles out. Get the wiggles out. I know we're all so still stoked from the bird show. We're all still hooped up from the birds. I know I am. All right, get ready. Loosen your fingers up. Get your finger exercises. All right, here we go. Ready? Today's Bible point is God. All right, this is a multi-part one, so get ready, all right? Is our, it's like you're doing this, like you're saying, it's ours. Ready? Is our. Very nice. And this is my favorite. Comforter. Give yourself a big old hug. Look at Frankie. Frankie can do it. Show the people, Frankie. Like that. Just a big hug. Just like, I'm so happy with you. Just like that. All right, let's put it together. Ready? God is our comforter. All right, again with feeling. God is our comforter. One more time, because I just like hugging myself. God is our comforter. Fantastic. All right. So God is just like a soft, comfy blanket, and he brings comfort and peace to when life gets kind of crazy. He hugs you all the time, girl. He hugs you all the time. Jesus brought comfort to those that he healed, and through his message of truth and love. So you guys, head on out to your next adventure. Hug somebody. Tell them God is your comforter. I'm early. I can't help it.